What's happening, guys? Welcome back to An American in Poland. I'm Kenny. Glad to have you here. So today we're going to be talking about cost of living. And this video was actually suggested by one of my subscribers. And they were asking, what does it cost per month for, basic necessities, groceries here in Poland? And I will say this tends to be a little subjective. Everybody's needs are a little different. What they want for meats or vegetables or, their diet in general tends to be different. So I'm just going to give you kind of a generalized cost of what Anya and I spend per month on groceries here in Poland. Now, before we do this, we got to talk about the stores themselves. What's available? Is it different than the U.S.? Is the type of store even different than the U.S.? Not even necessarily what's available. So, for us, the common store that we go to is Biedronka. Now, we also do shop at, Lidl, Aldi, Carrefour, Intermarché. There's a lot of options when shopping here in Poland. And with that, your costs are actually different. We try to do as much bargain shopping as we can. We've got applications from each one. We check the flyers and we try and find who has the best options for us each time we go out. Now, at this particular Biedronka that I'm going to be showing today, this is just to give you a general idea of what a Polish market looks like. Now, as you can see, they do have your organic food section. They do have the fresh vegetables. You've got all of your deli meats, prepared foods, a massive selection of sausages, which is fantastic. You can get every kind of kielbasa you ever thought you wanted. The meat selection tends to be a little bit smaller as far as your pork cutlets, your pork roasts, your chicken. It's kind of standard. You've got every part of the chicken you could possibly want is there. And your beef selection is extremely limited and extremely expensive. But, you do have something there as an option. Then you have your bread selection. Now, the breads is where Poland, for me, is like, mwah, love it. At Biedronka, you can get, what in the United States we'd call artisan loaves. This is your main breads. You've got your kind of sweet pastries, your pickup stuff, which is like your zapiekanka or your pizzas or garlic bread. Then you've got, like I said, your artisan loaves, your baguettes, and your bulky. In the Northeast, we call them bulkies. In the rest of the states, they call them rolls, And if you're in England, we're not even going to get into this, whether it's a BAM, whether it's a roll, whether it's, but we'll leave that there. Now, one thing that is different is that what we would consider a loaf of bread in the United States, they do have here, but they typically only have the store brand, and it'll be one loaf of wheat and one of white. There's none of the other craziness. And you can also, this is where you can find your pre-sliced, what we call artisan loaves. Now, some of the grocery stores have a slicing machine. You can put your bread in. It'll slice your fresh artisan bread right there for you. It's fantastic. When I talk about what Anya and I are spending per week, this will include like our cleaning supplies, our sauces, coffee, It's not just you know meat, vegetable, that kind of thing. It's what I consider to be a normal grocery shopping. So this will include everything from toilet paper to coffee, and then all of our food as well. And typically during the winter time, we tend to eat home much more frequently. And what we try and do is buy like the family packs of meat, or I'll buy like, if they have like a roast on sale, I'll actually slice that down into cutlets. And this is how we try to save a little bit of money. Typically, we're spending about 300 to 350 zloty a week, and that's if I'm buying some beef, some pork, some chicken, and like I said, the rest of our stuff, vegetables, both frozen and fresh, and cheeses, milk, blah blah blah. What this boils down to is roughly 5 to 8 zloty per person per meal, and we'll cook a meal that is big enough for the two of us to have in the evening, and also bring a serving with us to work the next day. And we do this in the winter, try and save some cash, because as you know, all of your costs go up in the wintertime. We're paying for heat. We're paying for more expensive fuel for the car. We're paying to have the lights on more. And all of our costs go up. So we try to save what we can, where we can. Now, in the summertime, we do tend to eat out more frequently. And, also our diet tends to be a little bit different in the summertime. I have kind of a seasonal stomach, if you will, where like in the summer I'm going to be cooking burgers and stuff on the grill, whereas in the wintertime I tend to be making more stews or roasts or things like that. And in the summertime, we're spending about 200 zloty a week. So let's kind of bring in some numbers into this. So if we figure in the wintertime spending about 1,200 zloty every month for very basic groceries, and that's not counting going out to eat. And the other thing I want to warn you against is don't use conversion, because if you have to look at it as a zloty to the Polish person is the same as the dollar is to an American person. That's just kind of the way it works out for the blue collar middle class workers here. You can't go by doing the conversions. Now, in the last 2 years since I've been living in Poland, when I first moved here, we could go to one of the larger stores, like Auchan, and we could spend 350 zloty, and it would last us 2 weeks. Now it lasts us a week. So there's that. Now, you can save a little bit by going to the farmers markets. Vegetables tend to be a little bit cheaper. There's also a better selection, and the quality, I think, tends to be better. And in most villages, they'll have a farmer's market at least once during the week. In the cities, like this particular market here on Dąbrowskiego, it's 6 days a week. It's open. And they have everything from socks to avocados, and the prices, they're about 20% cheaper than buying at the grocery store, but the quality is much better. Now, the other way to either save a little bit of money but also get a little bit better quality is to buy your meats from the butcher shop. And if you're not saving money, you're just improving the quality of the meats. So that's something to be thoughtful of. Here at Dąbrowskiego, they have a section that is on the backside, and it's all your butchers. They got one guy who's doing nothing but poultry, another one that's kind of your smoked prepared meats, whether it be kielbasa or hams, deli meats, that kind of stuff, pashtet. And then there's another couple of them that are kind of everything. Then when you get into the villages, typically they'll have a butcher shop, which just kind of has everything. And as well as having the meat selection inside of, like prepackaged meats inside of your grocery stores. Now, at some of your grocery stores as well, you might find a butcher shop that is subcontracted inside the grocery store. Like at this particular Bedranka that I went to, you have a butcher shop inside the grocery store, and you pay for the meat from there separately from the rest of your groceries, which there's a few places like that around here. But yeah, food is not cheap here. I've got some Polish friends that live in England, and they say that they're paying about half as much every week in groceries than what they were paying in Poland. I know, for example, in the United States, I could find like a pork shoulder roast or a pork butt roast on sale, anywhere from 89 cents to $1 a pound, which is $2 a kilo, fairly regularly. Whereas right now at Bedranka, their super sale price is 16 zloty a kilo for a pork roast. It's a substantial difference in price, even when you consider the exchange rate. It's double the cost here than it is in the United States. Meats are expensive. Now, I will say you can go really crazy on groceries here. If you start buying a lot of beef, or you start buying a lot of, say, like organic type stuff, the prices get insane. Figure on, if you go organic, and we're going to leave the meat out of it for a moment. If you go organic, double the cost of everything. That's already double of everyone else. So, your 1,200 zloty a month now turns into 3,000 zloty a month, just by going organic. If you start adding specialty meats in, it can get really, really crazy. I found one grocery store down near Zakopane, which was like Mecca for beef eaters. It had every cut of beef in every style you could ever think of, dry aged, wet aged, different amount of time that something's been aged. They had one steak there, and it was 300 zloty for a kilo. Yes, the stuff's available, but you're going to pay for it. And like I said, right now, the cost of everything's going up. Fuel this summer had gone down to, the cheapest I think I saw this summer was $5.50 per liter for diesel. And recently it's been hovering right around $6.15, $6.20. Last winter it was up over 8 zloty a liter for fuel. And, then electricity last year doubled in cost. And, it hasn't gone back down. We're all suffering right now. Wood prices for heating wood is double in price. Part of that's because Germany has had problems with, sourcing firewood. So Polish people want those euros, so they're selling their firewood in Germany because they make more money on it. But unfortunately, that means the costs here are going up as well. Yeah, I mean, if we can boil it down to having a really good quality, not feeling hungry, eating good quality meats, good quality vegetables, at the minimum, every month, you're going to spend 1,200 zloty. And it can go, like I said, it can go crazy from there. And what you have to think about that is that is typically about between 20 and 30% of the average person's salary per month on groceries. Then you have 50% going towards, your housing costs. And the rest, what you're left over with, is for stupid things like fuel for your car, electricity for your house, and, maybe entertainment. So you're pretty limited. Grocery costs are really quite insane here in Poland. But food's good. I'm going to say that. I do enjoy getting to eat here. If you do go out to eat, typically you're going to spend fast food place, 2 people, 50 zloty. Yeah, you can get cheap and do the applications and stuff and cut that price down. But figure 50 zloty. If you go out for a nice meal, 100 zloty. If you go to a bar mleczna, you can go to the very bottom of the barrel, 18 zloty. But a normal bar mleczna is 24 zloty to 26. And that comes with soup, a main course, and 2 sides. So the price is actually pretty good when you're figuring that, but when you consider that compared to a home-cooked meal between 5 and 10 zloty per person, it's still much more expensive than cooking at home. Yeah, so I think right now everybody's struggling with food prices, with fuel prices, electricity. I don't care what country you're from. But it is frustrating to see here in Poland, where people are making less money to begin with, that they're paying so much extra as a percentage of their income for groceries. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to have notifications turned on, so the next time we put out a video, you'll get notified. And I want to say thanks to one of my subscribers for even suggesting this. I think it's an important topic to discuss, and I think I've really enjoyed putting it together for you guys. So, na razie, dzięki bardzo. We'll see you guys soon, next time here on An American in Poland.